Hello everyone. Today we're looking at a game that's very interesting for two reasons. Firstly, it was played between Magnus Carlsen and Vladimir Fedoseev, two top grandmasters who you may remember from the last Chess Olympiad, as Fedoseev, who played for the Slovenian representation, was the only one who managed to defeat Carlsen. Secondly, you may notice the irregular positions of the pieces. This was played at the Weissenhaus Freestyle Chess Grand Slam, where they played what's known as Fischer random chess, named after Bobby Fischer, where the pieces in the first and eighth lines are randomized following certain rules. Fedoseev was white and opened with c4. This would regularly be the English opening, but in this chess variant there's little opening theory due to the randomness. Carlsen plays b6, d4, knight f6, knight f3, d5. Fedoseev takes and Carlsen takes with the queen. Knight d3 to develop the other knight, c5, Fedoseev takes, Carlsen has to take with the pawn to not lose the queen. Now a brilliant move from Fedoseev here in b4. It may look like white would lose the knight and the rook here, but white now has knight b2 to defend the attacked rook, and now the black queen is in a skewer, and the queen doesn't have a good square to move to defend the rook at. Carlsen takes at b4, Fedoseev plays bishop b4 and Carlsen castles. One of the placement rules is that the king must be in between rooks so that castling is still possible. Now you can pause the video to try and find how in the ninth move Fedoseev can make Carlsen lose a piece and enter a losing game. If you found knight b2, that's the right move. It's the same idea as before. The queen is bound again and can't move to a5 to protect the rook. The best he can do here is to give the queen away for a rook and a knight. It's not a mate because white can put back the bishop to e1. Carlsen plays bishop a4 with the idea of c2 to take the bishop at b1. Fedoseev now castles. Now on bishop c2 he can play bishop d2 to defend his bishop with the rook who's now in play. Carlsen plays e5 here, who's attacked twice and defended once, but white can't play that because the bishop would be left undefended. He plays queen b2, e4, Fedoseev attacked the bishop, but Carlsen attacked the knight. Taking the bishop is not ideal because Magnus can take the knight. Then knight b6 or taking the pawn at t2. The best move is knight d2, which Fedoseev played, retreating the knight while also threatening the pawn and the b8 bishop. Knight b6 and now Fedoseev gets another pawn of advantage at e4. Fedoseev here has +2 advantage with the queen and the pawn for Carlsen's rook and the knight. Carlsen plays rook e8, attacking the e4 bishop who retreats to d3. Bishop e5 attacking the queen with tempo, bishop c3 to defend it. They exchange the bishops, then rook c8 with tempo. Now the best move in this position, which Fedoseev plays, is queen b2, wishing to exchange the rooks, which they do. g6. Next is f3 to make space for the king to move and prevent any potential mates. Bishop d7, g4, bishop e6, h4 with the idea of h5 and h6, and queen g7 for a mate. Rook c5 prevents that. Queen a3 attacks the rook and the pawn at a7. Rook c7, king f2, king d5, queen d6 attacks the rook and to attack the knight as well. Rook d7 with tempo. Fedoseev here gives a check at b8. King moves to g7, queen e5 check, king g8, and now h5. And here in the 30th move, Magnus Carlsen surrenders the game. The aforementioned h6 mate can still occur. Here's how it could go down. Here he threatens at h7 with an undefendable mate. If you like this match analysis, make sure to leave a like on this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to our channel as it helps us deliver more quality chess content for you to enjoy. Have a nice day and see you in the next one.